tight program, so we want to start on time. I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me. Due to the technical limitations of our system, currently I can only see my presentation. So if there are some interference you want to make, please write to the chat and Louise will assist me and will help us. Just a few words of introduction. Today there will be no fanfare, there will be no traditional roll call, and you also see me without the chain. As I said already, we have a tight program and I hope we can do it within 2 hours, because we all know that video sessions can be inspiring, but if they are too long, they are very boring. Please be aware of, we will record this session, and afterwards you can see this on our YouTube channel. So if you don't want to be recorded, switch off your camera and be aware of that the entire session will be recorded. Let me make some introductory remarks. You know our famous book written by Jan de Grave and Jim Smith. It's a 7-volume which appeared last year. Sadly, Jim Smith passed away last summer 21, and his family was asking at the occasion of the funeral not for presents and not for flowers. They were asking for a contribution to FIG. And I can proudly announce that Jim Smith's daughter sent last week 745 euros to FIG, and we will use it for history activities. So thank you very much to Jim and his family. I also would like to introduce our council. I hope you can see them. Chixiang Zhang from China, Diane Dumashi, Kwame Tenadu from Ghana, and Mika Lilje from Sweden, and of course our director Louise Friis-Hansen. Second remark, visa issues. You know, every year we are fighting for visas, and now I'm talking especially to our esteemed colleagues and friends from Ghana and from Nigeria. We can assure you FIG office and LOC in Poland is working hard day and night on this. And we hope that the situation will improve and that still more visas will be issued next week. But please note that we cannot issue visas. We depend on all these diplomatic services from Poland and from all the other different countries. And please be sure we are working hard on it. So we come to the official opening. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the 45th General Assembly. This 45th General Assembly is split into 3 parts. The first part is now today online, and we will handle the agenda items 1 to 20. You all have received the agenda. Agenda items 21 to 23 we will deal next Sunday in Warsaw, Poland on site. I'm very looking forward to this. And the agenda items 25 to 39 will be handled at the end on Thursday, the 15th of September. Agenda item 2, roll call. As I announced already, the roll call is different and it's similar to the roll call last year. We asked you to appoint an official delegate latest 25th of August. And with the appointment of your official representative, we consider that this member is present at the General Assembly. So therefore, it's important that you register your official delegate if this hasn't happened yet, so you can still do it. Please note also that only member associations in good standing will be able to vote at the General Assembly. I will explain the voting process later. Good standing means that your arrears from 2020 and earlier are paid, and from 21 as well. And to note, there will be a traditional roll call for the attendees being present in Warsaw for session 2 and 3.
Rudolf, may I interrupt you?
Yes, please.
I just wanted to say that currently we have registered 67 associations.
67 associations are currently registered. So according to our rules, we are highly above the necessary quorum. So our General Assembly will be considered as being a valid General Assembly. Thank you, Louise.
And this also means that we have 85 votes, because some associations have more than one vote.
Okay, so for the moment, you can note 85 votes. In conjunction with the votings, it is also a good tradition that we are appointing tellers who are a kind of independent check and prove that all the elections and voting are going well and well according to the orders. And for this year, we suggest to appoint the two representatives who are nominated for honorary membership, and this is Stephen Jaber from Ghana and Volker Schwieger from Germany. I do not want to rephrase our standards regarding security, reliability, and transparency. We are using the same system that we have used last year for electronic voting. We made a very good experience with it, and so we keep on to simplify voting. Then, adoption of the agenda. The General Assembly was announced through the newsletter, and the motion will be that the agenda will be adopted. We have not received any objections against the agenda or proposals for additional agenda items. The adoption of the minutes, agenda item 5, of the 43rd and 44th General Assembly. The minutes have been circulated, and here again we have not received any objections or proposals to change of formulation. We come to agenda item 6, membership. Unfortunately, we have not received applications for new member associations, and there are also no other membership association issues. And this will lead me to agenda item 7, which is the President's report for the period 2021 to 2022. We had our last working week in the Netherlands, which was our first electronic working week ever. This was a very successful event with good attendance. Technically, it worked well, but not to forget the huge support team which made the big success out of it. And we had a very professional studio. With the help of our Dutch colleagues, this was possible. We do not have this year. This year it's more improvisation. It was successful, but all participants expressed the desire to meet in person again, and therefore I'm looking very much forward to meet you all next week. Here are some impressions. You see photos of the support team which helped you running this hop-in system. You see Paula and our director, and you see also Frank and Kees from Dutch Cadastre. It was a huge experience, and again, thank you to the Netherlands for this great event with your extraordinary help. In September, we had our first site visit in Warsaw. We had 3 different venues, and we were choosing the DoubleTree Hotel as conference hotel. On the right-hand side, you see the Technical University of Warsaw, where we will have our social activities. In September, I attended Intergeo, and due to COVID, we had no booth this year, but it was interesting to see that the event as such was very successful, but significantly smaller compared to the years before. Let us talk about Ukraine. On 24th of February, the Russian military forces invaded Ukraine, and this war is still ongoing. On 1st of March, FIG Council published a statement disapproving this hostile act and requesting the Russian government to stop this immediately. However, we did not expel our 5 Russian members. They are 2 member associations, 1 affiliate member, and 2 academic members. And we did this also not having a look at our FIG statutes. Our statutes say we are a non-political organization, and in 2.2, it is written, the Federation shall abstain from any interference in questions of a political, racial, or religious nature. 2.3, the Federation shall not permit any of its activities to be influenced by statements or actions of a political, social, or religious nature. We are also a member of the International Science Council, which is comprising more than 100 international scientific organizations, and their rules, or our rules, so to say, give similar recommendations. We have received few requests to expel the Russian members, but they were only a few. Due to the special situation and location of the hosting country, Poland, FIG Council decided, we declared that Russian delegates and participants are not welcome at the Congress 2022 in Warsaw. We did not accept registrations from Russia, and we rejected Russian abstracts for presentations, although they arrived before the 21st of February. Before the 24th of February, we discussed about COVID-19 and how it will affect our Congress. Since the 24th of February, we discuss in addition the situation of Ukraine. And at this point, I want to say a big thank you to our local organizers from Poland, because there were never doubts whether to stop the whole thing, and with the whole thing I mean the Congress, or not. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Milka. Thank you, Christoph Janusz, and all the other helpers which are not so visible for us international. We appreciate this very much, that you're always in a positive and constructive mood, in addition to the fact that you only had kind of 13 months of preparation. In May, I attended together with our director the Geospatial World Forum in the Netherlands. And in beginning of August, I traveled to New York to the UN GGIM meeting of experts. And I would like to take this occasion and explain a little bit what UN GGIM means. About 10 years ago, the United Nations Economic and Social Council established the United Nations Committee of Experts on Global Geospatial Information Management. And the idea behind is to create an intergovernmental and international mechanism for making joint decisions and setting directions for the production, availability, and what everything is around geospatial information within national, regional, and global policy frameworks. The stakeholders of UNGGIM are the representatives of the member states. But in addition, recognized non-governmental organizations like FIG are invited to participate. And there is, of course, a big question, what is our role there? Well, first of all, our expertise in general, and especially in land administration, is useful and helpful. Our networks, especially to countries in development, offering a platform like a working week or a congress, and offering support, publications, capacity building, and so on. The current activities in UNGGIM, there will be 2 centers of excellence installed, one in Bonn in Germany for geodesy, reference framing, GNSS, and so on. And there will be a second one in Beijing, province Zhejiang, China, for geoinformation. A very important activity for the moment is the so-called IGIF, for Integrated Geospatial Information Framework, and its implementation on country level. These are the current activities which are going on. And last slide on this, we as society, Geospatial Society, are organized in one of the 3 networks. And I had the honor over the last 2 years to be the chair of this Geospatial Society network. Here in the list, you can see the 8 associations which are together with us. Let me come to agenda item 9, cooperation with the United Nations and the World Bank. We participate in FAO and the voluntary guidelines. We created also 2 joint publications. And for this joint publication, there will be special sessions during the Congress. Please have a look at the program. We also support the GLTN strategy phase 3. We are here in the co-lead on 3 activities, and there will also be special sessions on these activities. Agenda item 17, publications. I have already spoken about this fabulous book, History of Surveying, in 7 volumes. There are only 100 printed editions out of this, so only 100 exemplars are printed. Due to the help of Trimble, we could do this, and there are still some available. So if you want to buy this book, please contact the office, not within the next 10 days, but after the Congress, please contact our office. And in addition to this, I can proudly announce 2 brand new publications, one from our Commission 3 on geospatial data in the 2020s, and one from our Commission 8, Land Consolidations, the Fundamentals to Guide Practice. Brief summary of my short report. Together with my council, I spend a lot of time on crisis management and developing scenarios, which is not funny at all. However, the good news is our commissions, networks, and task forces were productive despite all the external difficulties. I could also attend and open 5 online meetings, so I was in addition quite active there. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm looking very much forward to meeting you all in person next week from next Sunday on. If you have any questions to the report or remarks, please write to the chat. Then I would like to come to agenda item 8, appointment of honorary members. Council has received 2 nominations for honorary members. The German Association for Geodesy, Geoinformation and Land Management, DVW, has appointed Professor Volker Schwieger, and the Licensed Surveyors Association of Ghana, LISAG, has appointed Mr. Stephen Jaba. You see these letters in the invitation, and I don't want to rephrase all their merits and all their activities, what they have done for the sake of FIG. We from Council have considered both proposals and decided to propose to the General Assembly that it appoints Professor Volker Schwieger and Mr. Stephen Jaba as honorary members. How this will work, I will explain later when we come to the voting. Agenda item 11, FIG accounts for 2021, auditors report and budgets 2022. Therefore, I will stop now my presentation and will hand over to Louise. Louise will give us a summary of the accounting and our financial situation.
Thank you very much, Rudolf. I will just share my screen, and then I will open my presentation, and I hope that you can all see the presentation. Can you?
Yes, we can.
Good. Thank you very much, Rudolf. Well, thank you for this. In this presentation, I would like to first of all say a little bit about the overall financial situation, a little bit about the budget, and then also on the office. So what was the situation in 2021? It was a little different from usual. So what happened was that a FIG Council decided to give a 20% reduction in membership fee for all members. That, of course, had an impact on the finances with less income. On the other hand, it was also not possible to travel, so we also saved quite a lot on travels where we would normally have spent the money. Another big thing, and another thing that has a big impact on our accounting are our annual events, and it's there's no doubt about the yearly events are very important for us for our income. In 2020, we had to change the working week into 26 articles, and we couldn't attend in Amsterdam. Unfortunately, we did have expenses. We tried to reduce the expenses, and we managed to reduce several of it because there was no way we could have an on-site conference. Everything was shut down. So due to this, we were better off, but still there were expenses that had to be covered somehow. Then in 2021, we converted the working week into the e-working week, which worked very well. But of course, an e-event has smaller income than a normal event. But still, our local organizers were really, really nice and very fair to us. I mean, we all helped covering the deficit we had from the year before. But they also ensured us that and secured that we could get an income from the event from 2021, and we appreciate that very much. So that was on the positive side. So how did it go in 2021 and 22? Well, we had the lower income, as I said before, and if we look at if we had normal income, then we would actually have a balanced result. But we had a deficit because of this lower income. And we also had the lower expenditure, as I also said before. So most of our expenditure were the fixed costs that we can't change because there were no real on-site activities at all. We expected a very high deficit. It was budgeted to a minus of 86,000, but instead, we ended with a result of a deficit of 38,000 euros. It's high, but we also decided that with the financial situation as it is now, it was possible to do so, and we would like to stretch out our hands to all our members, because we know that our members also struggled during these past years. But it was a one-time thing. We experienced in 21 that we had very, very high write-offs, meaning that people who were expelled or who resigned from FIG, this is much higher than normally. Arrears are also still fairly high. It's on the way down, but still it could be improved. And we are still facing negative interest rate. We hope that it will change soon, but still we have negative interest rate. So what does that mean? Well, our surplus on ordinary activities, which is our normal key measure 1, which means that our ordinary income must balance with our ordinary expenses, so that that needs to balance. We knew that due to this decrease of income from membership fees, that we would be below this key measure, and we knew it from the beginning and also talked about it last year. And again, it was a lot lower than our estimate, our budget, because we also had lower expenses. So it means that our it's deficit, which is never so good. But on the other hand, it's also a result that's better than we had feared. Subscription arrears are still 68,000. It's lower than last year, but in 18, that was a very best year. That was where we're down to 49,000. It's the lowest it's ever been. So we really want to go down and lower than that again. So it means really that you should pay the subscription fees. Our reserves are quite high, luckily, because we have saved quite a lot over the last years. And you can see that in the percentage, we are on 129% of what the level we have set, what we need to be on. We also have, in this reserve, we also have an IT reserve and we have an events reserve. Which I think is a very good thing and needed because there are so many uncertainties for the future years. But in total, it's we still having fairly stable finances and a good situation, even despite this deficit this year. So here you can see the overall situation and the trends. We are at a downgoing curve on income, which is not very good. And we do hope that we can change this in the future. You can also see the income over time of course, it decreases a lot this year because of the 20% reduction. So all in all, in the General Assembly agenda, you can find as an attachment the auditor's report and the overall finances, and their opinion is that it's a true and fair view. So our motion is that the General Assembly adopts the audited accounts for 2021. The next thing I would like to talk about, that's agenda item 12, which are the subscriptions. For many years, we had no changes in the subscriptions. Then in 19, the General Assembly decided to increase, it was needed to increase. But we have then held the level from 2019, apart from this 20% reduction last year. It was discussed in council what to do in future years. We are looking into some pretty tough years. It's also currently with higher prices going on. What is going up? What is it called? Can't remember the right word right now. But still, council suggests to keep the 2019 levels in 2024. Also because there will be a new council, and then it's up to the new council to decide what to do in the future years.
Louise, may I interrupt you? There comes a
Yes.
proposal from the floor that the right word is inflation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. It slipped my mind. Oh, it's good that you are listening. So this means that we are still at a level where in 2024, we proposed that member associations pay 4.80 euros per member. And for those countries that by the World Bank are considered as low and lower income countries, it is half the price. So what about the budget? What about the future? Well, we have these key measures. I already mentioned the first. That is that the regular income must exceed regular expenditure each year. We knew already that we didn't fulfill it last year, and we know that we won't do it this year. But it is a key measure that we have. Another key measure is that our overall surplus is returned over the 4-year period. It means that we can have a deficit some years, but then we need over a 4-year period to balance. And FIG is a federation. We are not set into the world to earn money, so we should have a result that is just around zero, but of course with enough reserves so that we can also stand against tough times. And that is the key measure 3, which means that the general reserve should be between 90 and 100% of regular annual expenditure. This means that actually we could, in a year, have all the expenditure that we need to have, the regular expenditure with no income. That's how solid FIG needs to be, and we are over that level. So one of the key issues for the budget, well, here the right word comes, the inflation, will have a negative impact, and it's of course clear also we used part of the reserve in 2021. We still have a high key measure 3, that general reserve, it's 129%, but it will be decreasing over the coming years. So what we need to do is really look at the income side. What can we do to increase our income? And we have budgeted some deficits in the future years, which means that the key measures are not met, but we know it and we are aware of it and we are carefully monitoring it. Also, of course, administrative costs are also monitored really carefully. And it also means that next year we will have a new president, we will have a new council, and that can also have an impact on how the budget will look in the coming years. So this is how the budget overview looks. You can see there have been some years here in 2021 and 22 with a deficit instead of a surplus, but we are moving our way up on the right side of the line. So we're moving up over a 0 again. So how is the expenditure divided? Well, we have part goes to the administration, then we have a part to what's called marketing and publications. That's also our website and all these outgoing activities. Then we have council and executive management expenses, and finally also commission support. And in the later years, we increase that to also include network support. So our general reserve, that is again the 90 to 100% that I talked about before. We have been quite high because we've had some years where we had some fairly good results and had managed to be careful and had a positive balance. We are now facing that we are moving downwards, but we are also very aware of it and are sure that we are moving up again during the next coming years. So finally, greetings from the FIG office. I mean, we are the ones you are most in touch with normally, I mean, and in the office. We currently, we've had a quite turbulent year. We've had Claudia on maternity leave. She has returned here in August, which is really nice. And she's returning on 20 hours per week. And we have Maria, who is working on the finances and administration. She's been on full time here over the last year, but she will also go down on reduced time from October this year. Then as a replacement for Claudia, we found Nana Jørgensen. Unfortunately, in December, she found her dream job. And there aren't many of that. It's very specialized. I don't even know what's it called. So unfortunately, she left us just when she got very much into what FIG was. So that was really a pity. But instead, Evelyn came and stayed with us from February on, first as a replacement and on full time. But due to the fact that Claudia will be on part-time, we can have now both Maria and Evelyn on 28 hours per week onwards. This means that we will be 4 in the office and not 3, but still within the same budget. that also helps us being less vulnerable. And I think that's a really nice development. So yeah, what has happened during these past years? From my side, I can only say it is so nice that we are back on track. This session is online, but the next two General Assembly sessions will be on site. They will also be broadcast, but they will be on site, and we will be back to being together again in Warsaw for those who are able to come. So that was all from me. I will stop share my screen now, if I can find out doing that.
Thank you, Louisa. Thank you for this presentation. And here again, you as official representatives, you are asked to agree to this motion. But as I said and announced already, I will explain this in detail later. If there are no questions or comments to this, I would like to move to the next agenda item, which is agenda item 13, FIG Foundation. I would kindly ask John Hohol to come on stage.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find him.
Yeah.
Here he is. I'm
give his presentation. Let me make a short introduction. You have time, Louisa. I don't know if everybody is aware of this. John Hohol is certainly the one in FIG who has the longest practice as acting member. This year there will be the 20-year celebration of the FIG Foundation, and John Hohol is on board since the real beginning, and I think since 2006. He's even the president of the foundation. John, good morning. What's time in your place?
It's 3:37 a.m.
3:37 a.m. You are really brave. You got up early. So
I'm young, so what can I say?
We appreciate that, and we are looking forward to your presentation. The floor is yours, John.
Thank you, Rodolph. Thank you very much. Yes, welcome everyone. I will give you a quick overview about the activities of the foundation. All this information will be attached to the General Assembly agenda as well. So if you want to take a look further in depth, you will find all that information there.
John, may I just interrupt you because I am sharing my screen, so I can't see you.
Yes.
So whenever I need to change slide, please let me know.
Yes, of course. You can show the next slide, please. As you may know, the foundation is an independent body under FIG and is located and administered by the office in Copenhagen. A board of directors is chaired by the president and makes the decisions of the foundation. And of course, the board of directors is appointed by the council. Next slide, please. For 2021, this shows the board of directors, myself, Professor Michael Berry from Canada, Mr. Enrico Rispoli from Italy, Winston Ayew from Nigeria, Professor David Mitchell from Australia, and of course, the council representative, Vice President Jixing Zhang from China. Next slide, please. David Mitchell was director of the foundation representing Commission 2, which is professional education. Unfortunately, he had earlier expressed his wish to resign from the post due to a large workload, and he did so in 2021. And his profile had been scientific academic. Mike Berry has been on the board for 15 years, since 2006, and also decided to resign due to personal circumstances. He has been key in helping to secure the scientific academic line of the foundation over the years and helping to establish the direction and the grants that we currently offer. Next slide, please. 2 new directors have been appointed by the FIG Council. Jennifer Whittle from South Africa, who has a strong academic and scientific profile and is a professor in Cape Town. And Bryn Fosberg from the USA, bringing in corporate expertise, senior leadership and very broad experiences with foundations. The foundation and the council thank the two outgoing directors for their substantial work over the years and welcome these two new directors. Next, please. The foundation website was updated and modernized extensively in 2020 and reflects the work of the foundation, announced grants, highlights stories written by previous foundation grant recipients, and also lists all the people who have donated, as well as a historical nature in terms of who has received the grants and also the members of the foundation over the years. Also available on the website, it's possible to make direct donations to the foundation via credit card, which we very much appreciate. Next, please. The purpose of the foundation, in terms of the statutes, the purpose of the foundation is the funding of educational and capacity building projects and scholarships. This is very important, especially in today's world. As Rudolph mentioned, in 2021, the FIG Foundation celebrated its 20th anniversary. On May 11th, 2001, at its last session of the working week in Seoul, Korea, the General Assembly endorsed the statutes of the foundation that were established by transferring the former Education Foundation from Australia to the FIG office in Denmark. Next slide, please.
Now
we lost the slides.
We can't see the slide for the moment. We only see the images of the active speakers. Now we see the share elements, Louisa, but
What?
no slide.
I just strange. I will try once again to
Yes.
get the slide in. Yeah. So we try once again.
Okay.
Now it's loading the screen.
Yes, and I will make it.
Now
in
you will see your
presentation mode.
entire screen, and you have to switch. Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, good. Yes,
So
thank you.
back on track.
Yeah.
Yes, technology is wonderful when it works. Right?
Yes.
As it is shown there, many thousands of people have supported the foundation through their conference registration fees and attendance at the foundation dinners, and which is very much appreciated. Some supporters have also generously donated hundreds and even thousands of euros in additional donations over the years. And it is very much appreciated again. The 20th anniversary, of course, should have been marked in 2021, but like everything else, COVID had an impact on that and prevented the meetings. And more information about the foundation celebration is shown on that week, and you can also find it directly on the foundation website. Next, please. We also have a program with Trimble, who's a Charter Foundation partner and supports the foundation by the sponsorship of the FIG Foundation Dinner since 2010 and providing other support directly through the foundation. Next slide, please. The board introduced a new flyer in 2019 that had been distributed to companies at Intergeo in Germany and Chinter in China. Unfortunately, there was no possibility in 2020 or 2021 to distribute the flyers in person at these events. At the online Intergeo event in 2021, FIG had an online stand where the foundation was also promoted. The flyer includes benefits for supporters, grant programs, and 2 short cases showing examples of what is being done by the foundation. With this flyer, the foundation board of directors hopes to increase awareness of the foundation and donation possibilities. Next slide, please. The board, like many others, could unfortunately not meet in person in 2021 because of COVID. And instead, online meetings were held, and we had very frequent contact through emails like many of you have. Next slide, please. In 2021, there were two different foundation grants that were offered, an academic research grant and a PhD grant. Next, please. The academic research grants provide grants of up to 40,000 euros spread over 4 years. The conditions are that the applicants shall be based on a surveying/geomatic academic program that teaches surveying in a country listed by the World Bank as a low-income, lower middle, or upper middle income economy. In 2021, the foundation received 2 applications. However, they were both rejected as they did not fulfill the requirements. Next, please. The PhD scholarships provide up to 4,000 euros to a PhD student. Successful applicants can qualify for a further grant of up to 3,000 euros to attend and present a peer-reviewed paper at an FIG conference. Conditions are similar to the academic research, plus they need to be studying for a PhD degree and registered solely in a surveying geomatics academic program. Next slide, please. The foundation received 1 application for the PhD scholarship. The application did fulfill the requirements and was accepted, and it went to Dorgus Güler from Turkey, the Department of Geomatics Engineering in Istanbul, with the project exploiting BIM for building, permitting, and condominium rights. Next, please. In 21, the foundation decided to award grants in cooperation with the young surveyors to support participation in their online e-working week in 2020. Online e-working week 2021. In total, 100 grant recipients were selected, of which 55 participated. The grant recipients that were selected in 2020 to attend the working week in Amsterdam, which of course was canceled, have been transferred to this year's Congress in Warsaw. Next, please. COGEGL in Italy received a grant of 3,000 euros as support for their technical summer school. This was one of the very few events that actually took place in person during 2021. The foundation donated to the FIG Young Surveyors Volunteer Community Surveyor Program as well, the VCSP. A grant of 4,500 euros was spread over 3 years. In total, 12,382 euros was spent in 2021 due to the fact that the full VCSP grant was booked in 2021. In 2021, the FIG Working Week, of course, took place online, which meant that there were no income coming from participants or from the traditional dinner. Next, please. Although the income was much lower due to the fact that of the e-working week, the FIG decided to allocate part of its income from the Congress to the foundation, a total of 5,000 euros, which we very much appreciate. The FIG Foundation has also received personal donations, especially from Mr. Enrico Rispoli, Mr. Hector Sanabria Ventin, Ms. Maria Henkrith, and an anonymous donation of 100 euros. In addition, Kengo Okada contributed 1,000 euros. The FIG, of course, thanks these donors for their very generous contributions. As I mentioned previously, the total income was 6,543 euros. Next, please. In addition, Trimble gave a special donation of 15,000 US dollars to print the 7 volumes of the history of surveying, covering 3 millennia of measurement of the Earth, as Rudolf had highlighted in his presentation. These 7 books include a lifelong research and work of Jim Smith and Jan de Graaf on the history of surveying. And as Rudolf stated, only 100 special edition sets of the 7 volumes were printed. I should also note here that this took 34 years of research work between Jim and Jan to put together these 7 volumes. All income from the books are donated in full to the FIG Foundation because of the generous grant from Trimble. Next slide, please. Counts for 2021 and the balance sheet are shown below. The total income, as I previously mentioned, is shown there, as well as the expenses, showing a negative amount of 5,839 euros. Currently, at the end of 2021, the total assets were 232,464 euros. The foundation would sincerely thank all those who have generously donated in 2021 in support of the foundation, and of course would especially like to thank Trimble for their generous contribution and support of the foundation over these many years. Next slide, please. Please consider making a donation on the FIG Foundation webpage and help the foundation continue to build a sustainable future. Please visit the foundation website for more information or to donate. Thank you very much, and I very much look forward to seeing all you next week in Warsaw. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John, for your valuable contribution. We are also looking very much forward to see you, to see the whole board of FIG Foundation, and to see these activities. Thank you again, John.
Thank you.
We are moving now on to agenda item 14 and 15. The powerhouse of FIG are the commissions and the networks. And therefore, we have prepared a slot for all commission chairs and network chairs to give a short presentation. And I would like to hand over the microphone to Mikael Lilje from FIG Council, who is also responsible for the commissions and the networks. So, Mikael, it's your turn.
Thank you, Rudolf. And dear friends, colleagues, and I almost said family. It's so great to be here again and talking to you all. And this agenda item, as Rudolf said, is about the report from the FIG Commissions and Networks. And I believe this can be a kind of a challenge now, because Louise in the system needs to invite each and every of the commission chairs and network chairs. And I will try to run the presentation from my computer. I have been quite firm and perhaps not so positive in my dialogue with the commission chairs and network chairs, saying that I have maximum 2 minutes each. And that's really is a little bit hard on my heart, because the commissions for me, this is, and the networks, this is where the action is happening. This is where the engine room of FIG. So I would love to have much more on the General Assembly, but we understand also that we have some time limits that we need to meet. I just want to encourage you all, your members and everyone that's participating at the FIG Congress, to be active and go to all the technical sessions that there are, because there are so many and they are looking so interesting. So, but I'm not going to say anything else. We go through the commissions one by one, and then we continue with the networks. And hopefully, to my understanding, most of the commission chairs also are available here and now, and have managed to log into the system. And we'll see. We'll take it one by one. Please bear with us. So the first one I would like to invite to say a few words, 2 minutes, will be Vinnie, please.
Thank you, Mikael. Can you all hear me?
I can hear you well.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Now, can I have the slides, please? Yeah.
I have the first slide. I will go over to version 1.1. I hope you see my slides.
Yeah, thank you, Mikael. Yeah. Here are the updates from Commission 1, Working Group on International Ethics and Standards. The IEFC has released a revised version of International Ethics Standards in May 2021, in which 2 new principles on diversity and respect were added on top of the original 10. During the online session on ethics, or the online where is my slide has gone? Back to the last one, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. During the online discussion session on ethics in the EFIG Working Week 2021 in Amsterdam, we have successfully shared with the delegates updates on ethics, gained their opinions, information on updates, and implementation of IES, and discussed individual challenges within each country represented. Discussions will continue during the 2022 Congress, with final recommendations being presented at 2020 Working Week in Orlando. Next, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. Women in Sudan. The working group has been working towards the UN SDG Goal number 5 on gender equality and issues related to World Bank stand for learning, and wish to come up with the statements as you see on the screen. The working group will be seeking a new chair for the next term, so I would like to thank Robin for her efforts in promoting a positive environment for this working group during the difficult period of pandemic. Next one, please. International Boundary Settlement and Demarcation. Han and his working group published the FIG 76 International Boundary on Unstable Ground to this commission in 2021. In moving forward, the working group is planning to issue a third publication on maritime boundaries. Lastly, I sincerely thank all the chairs and members of the working groups and your support provided to Commission 1, thus enabling my goals to what can be achieved. Next one, please. Yeah, and also the next one. So let's welcome the new chair of, this one is blank?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let's welcome the new chair of Commission 1, Timothy Birch, and I look forward to seeing you all in the FIG Working Week 2023 in Orlando.
Thank you, Vinny. Thank you for the short
Thank
report.
you. Thank you all.
Yes, and sorry for not having more time, but I encourage you all to also to be active at the working week and at the Congress and the annual meetings and so on. And I would like to encourage you all to also to visit these annual meetings. Over to the next commission, that will be Commission 2. So I hope that David is still awake.
Yes, Mikhail. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome everybody, and it's wonderful to connect with all the dear friends and colleagues from FIG community and Commission 2 after so little of that during this term. So have we got the slides there, Mikhail?
You have
So
the first slide now.
On behalf of, yes, please. On behalf of myself and Mohsen Kalamtari, the Vice Chair, and also the Chair-elect Dimo Todorowsky, this is a report on Commission 2, Professional Education. How are you going with that slide, Mikhail?
Currently, the Commission 2 highlight slide is shown, starting with
Oh, I can't see. Can everybody see that? Because I can't see. I'll talk to that anyway. So the cooperation with the international bodies, we have been running since the Christchurch Working Week, the FIG and FAO academic forum, which has been a great cooperation between us and FAO. They've been very supportive and a great partner in this, where these sessions in each of the events really are about exploring the way that the academic institutions can help support dissemination and integration of the voluntary guidelines for responsible governance of tenure. We've also had strong cooperation with Global Land Tool Network regarding their responsible land administration teaching essentials, and there's been sessions in the more recent working weeks. If we look at each of the chairs, big thank you to Dimo for chairing the first one. This has been a very strong and active group focusing on regional academic networks in Africa and Latin America. There's been several knowledge sharing events and sessions, and thank you to that group. That's fed into the work of the commissions, and I'll talk later on about the overall Commission 2 report. The second one around around innovative learning and teaching, curriculum on the move, has been during this this upheaval that we had in 2020 due to the COVID and the restrictions, really heading towards an emergency response, if you like, in how we moved all our teaching online. We've been able to capture through all the presentations at at the various events we've had, including the working weeks and this upcoming conference, that journey that we've been on. So the papers that we've got from our colleagues in education have been terrific, and I encourage people to check those out. The third working group has been a joint one with the Young Surveyors Network. Three young surveyors were really active in this group. So a special thank you to Chetna Ben and Franka Grubitz, and also Mudit Kapoor, who worked and helped put together a questionnaire on students' learning styles and preferences. It came out and we got a lot of responses during 2020. So it was very much a pandemic response questionnaire, and that's fed into also our final report. So just in terms of the highlights, once again, welcoming and wishing all the best for Demo, and he's starting the new term in 2023. He's been a very active member in our commission, and I wish him all the best, and I'm sure he'll do very well. So the next slide is about the FIG publication coming up. This has been the major work for this commission. Blended Learning for Surveying Education is a lot of bringing together, first of all, the pandemic response, and then how this blend of online learning and face-to-face learning can work best for surveying education, really the lessons learned, and what will be the new normal for that going forward. So a terrific response by the Commission, lots of very, very core active group has contributed to this, many people writing, and we've had several workshop sessions discussing the key focus and the key lessons here. So that will be presented at this Congress, but also it'll be finalised then and published in late 2022. The next slide, please, Mikhail.
Please be short.
I will. So this is just a reminder of the sessions that are at the upcoming Congress. We've got lots of sessions. We've got lots of opportunities to discuss education matters. There'll be a lunchtime meeting, and we'll have a dinner. So please connect with us in Warsaw, and we hope to seeing you there. And best wishes to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Sorry for pushing a bit there. Thanks for the interesting presentation. And the Commission, Rudolf or Louis, can you confirm that the slides are shown or not? Because it looks all right from my side. Hartmut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Mikhail. There have been way too many activities of Commission 3 to mention them all here. Let me briefly touch just on a few. Our field of work is mainly to study the technical conditions for the digital exchange of geospatial data, and this has led to a significant number of joint sessions with other commissions at working weeks and this year's Congress. We also organize our own events on specific topics. In 2019, we had the privilege to be guests at the Romanian Surveying Week in Cluj-Napoca, Romania, with a very active role of 35 young surveyors on site. In 2021, thanks to the courage, they are really strong, to the courage and commitment of our Italian delegates, we were able to hold a very successful hybrid joint Commission 3 and Commission 8 workshop in Prato, Italy, even in times of pandemic, with about 50 participants on site and nearly 1,000 online. Next slide, please. We are collecting new findings in the form of publications. In Hanoi in 2019, we presented our publication on crowdsourcing and volunteer geographic information. And at this year's Congress, we will present our just finished publication. President Rudolph has already mentioned it in his report earlier this morning. And the publication is on geospatial data in the 2020s, transformative power and pathways to sustainability. Here, 16 authors from 9 countries discuss the benefits of geospatial information and its integration into established technical processes of selected domains. And next slide, please. So please join us Tuesday next week on site in Warsaw or online for this special session. And with that, I say thank you, and back to you, Michael.
Thank you, Hartmut. We're looking forward to that launch. Over to Commission 4. Azali, hope you are with us.
We
Yes,
can
thank
see,
you, Michael.
Mikhail, we can see the slides.
Perfect, thank you. Please, Razali.
Hi, I'm FIG Commission 4 Chair Razali. The 4 working groups in Commission 4 are Standard and Guidelines for Hydrography, Blue Growth and United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 14, Mapping the Plastic, Marine Development and Administration. Next slide, please, Michael. We started WARE in 2019 after the FIG Working Week in Hanoi with all working group chairs attended and presented in the Commission 4 event known as KL Johydro 2019 in Kuala Lumpur. This follows with another conference via online, KL Johydro 2020, and the next one, KL Johydro 2023, will take place on 28 February and 1 March 2023. 3 commission meetings took place during FIG Working Week in Hanoi, KL Johydro 2019, and during FIG Working Week last year. Next slide, please, Michael. Each working group contributed to the work plan of Commission 4, and Commission 4 new representative in the International Board on Standard of Competence is Professor Harald Sternberg from Germany. The working group chair is a member on the HSPT working group for the review of IHO S44.
Excuse me that I interrupt. Michael, you lost the PowerPoint again.
Oh, that is so strange.
Sorry for that, Razali.
Okay, it's okay. Okay.
Let me see if I can share screen again, then I need to do it all again. Yes. Sorry.
There we go. Now we can
Thank
see
you.
it again.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. I start again. Each working group contributed to the work plan of Commission 4. Commission 4 new representative in the International Board on Standard of Competence is Professor Harald Sternberg from Germany. The working group chair is a member on the HSPT working group for the review of IHO S44. The existing working group 4.2 that concerns itself with the blue economy and the United Nations SDG 14 in relation to our ocean has maintained a networking activity with numerous webinars and virtual meetings. Working group 4.3, a joint Commission 4 Young Surveyors Network undertaking is FIG's response to the overwhelming plastic problem. The relationship with Green Hub, a dynamic environmental Vietnamese NGO, and Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization, CSIRO, were formed at the 2019 FIG Working Group in Hanoi. Working Group 4.4 focused on the role of marine cadastre towards nation development that provide the potential requirements and challenges to the realization of marine cadastre worldwide and how marine cadastre can be an catalyst
We
to
see no
nation
PowerPoint.
development. My gratitude
no
and appreciation
PowerPoint for
to
the
the
moment.
FIG President and FIG Council, the Association of Authorized Land Surveyors Malaysia, which is associate member of FIG, University Technology Malaysia, which is academic member of IG, Land Surveyors Board of Malaysia, and the Department of Survey and Mapping Malaysia for all the support provided to Commission 4 in the last 4 years. My very best wishes to the incoming chair of Commission 4. Thank you very much.
It seems like the system is not completely stable when it comes to the presentations. I hope I am up with the presentation again. But thank you, Razali, for a very comprehensive and nice presentation.
Michael, if you, there it is again. Otherwise, I'll try to share. I think I have loaded it also to the system, and otherwise we'll try from there.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Daniel, Dan.
No worries. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, then. Thank you. Next slide, please. So first, I want to take the moment to say, for more detailed responses and activities, please do come to the commission sessions, not just for Commission 5, but all of us. We provide a lot more detail there than we can at this particular moment. I list here my 6 working groups. I will list a number of things here for them. I encourage you to come to the sessions. We would love very much for the member organizations to participate more fully in the different working groups. And I think that there are real opportunities there. Operationally, we work a lot with Commission 4 and Commission 6 because it's more practical and involves sometimes more field work. But of late, we've done a lot more work with Commission 2 and the Capacity Development Network. In point of fact, that's because we're looking to outreach from these working groups to do the practical work, but then also to try and go to these outside groups that we work with to bring that knowledge in and then transfer that to the member organizations so that they can then disseminate that out to their members. So 5.1 standards, working with the International Standardizations Organization as well as the Open Geospatial Consortium. So we engage a lot there, as well as with, of course, standards network within FIG. 3D reference frames, a lot of collaboration in the regions through the IAG's regional committees that focus on development of reference frames, but also focus on the development of the UN-related fields there as well. And it applies also for the vertical frames. We engage a lot in GNSS because that's the tool that we use to access things. And finally, we also get to working groups focus on multi-sensor systems and cost-effective positioning. Next slide, please, briefly here. So most of these groups that we've worked with, I mentioned on the left side in terms of engagement. I will bring special attention to the subcommittee on geodesy, where we do a lot of the education, training, capacity building, and that's what we're trying to bring into FIG and disseminate. Upcoming activities, this next weekend, I hope to have an RFIP, as well as the follow-on Congress. We, of course, had those in the past couple of years in virtual activities. And then in the future, we're also looking in November to hold another RFIP in Santiago. And then, of course, I look forward to welcoming you all in Orlando the following year. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Let's move on to Commission 6 and Maria.
Hello?
Hello.
Do you listen? Yes, I see that. No, good morning. Can you present the change slide? Okay, thank you. I will present briefly the activity of Commission Engineering Surveys. And the work wouldn't be possible without the help of my colleagues, chairs and vice chairs of the 3 working groups. From this, I want to highlight the precious help of the vice chair of the Commission, Corina Harning. So the highlights are the participation in the organization of FIG 2021 Working Week. The Commission had 2 technical sessions. You can see their teams in the slide. And a very interesting workshop on augmented reality linked to our activity related to the construction. This workshop was possible with the help of Topcom and Trimble. Next slide, please. Another important activity from my point of view was the participation of Commission 6 in an international event, the second workshop of teachers of special measurements that happened in Argentina. It was a web meeting, and I think it's very important, this kind of activities. The last but not the least, this year in June in Valencia, Spain, the 5th Joint International Symposium on Deformation Monitoring. The 5th, but in fact it was the 18th symposium in this theme. Imagine after 2 years without personal meeting, the reunion of almost 20 participants, which is the normal in this kind of event. Many papers, the possibility of talking directly again, the sharing of ideas. It was very good, and we are very happy with the work of the Spanish organizers. Well, next year this presentation will be made by the new chair of the Commission, Werner Leonhardt. I welcome him. I hope to meet you personally in Poland. Thank you, and have a nice week. Bye.
Thank you, Maria. I certainly look forward to seeing you there, as everyone else, of course. So, Commission 7, I know Daniel should have been here. I hope he's solved these technical issues. Louise, do you know anything?
Daniel should be here, and he should be on stage.
Perfect.
Can you say something, Daniel? He has accepted to be on stage.
Daniel, are you muted or unmuted or anything else?
Oh, no, I will request once again. We'll try once again.
Okay, one more time. Sorry about this. Daniel, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. You're most welcome. So please.
Well, fantastic. Thank you. The first slide we only have two. And so the first slide I wanted to say is the purpose of Commission 7 is about land management and land administrations. And we're very pleased with the excellent participation we have had in the last 4 years, but particularly for this Poland Congress, we have more than 9 sessions, so it's very exciting to have such a strong participation for the friends and members of our commission. In the photo that you see in our first slide is the extraordinary event we had with LX in Korea. We had the honor of Orhan, our vice president at that time, to attend and open the event with more than 4,000 people. It was extraordinary. Delegations for 100 people, technical delegations, but 4,000 Koreans attended. So it was fantastic, and we appreciate very much the support of LX throughout the participation. In 2020, we conducted our event, and if we move to the next slide, please. We conducted our event online, and in 2021, we repeated online with a fantastic support from Abbas Rajabi Fars from Melbourne University. He was celebrating 20 years of his research group, probably the most known research group that integrates land administration, cadastre, special data infrastructure was fantastic. Also with Abbas, the Commission published a book during the pandemic. More than 34 authors from the Commission. We developed a geospatial book in the resilience of community as part of the pandemic. I want to finish saying, don't miss many of the things. I will be in Poland. Don't miss many of our sessions. We are going to have a lunch and a dinner. And Rohan has been fundamental. Rohan Bennett, the next chair of the commission, has been fundamental in putting together this, and I appreciate very much his support. The office has been fantastic, and of course, Rudolf, the president, has helped us a lot in putting this fantastic agenda we have for the Congress. Now, in October, we're going to have our annual meeting. It's in Spain, in Sevilla. We will be sharing all the information as part of our events in Poland, and I open a very strong invitation for everyone to join us in Sevilla in October, the 25th of October, as part of the Spanish Colegio, the topographer, the School of Surveyors will be running this. That's Commission 7.
Thank you, and so happy we managed to solve the technical issues. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Over to Commission 8, Mariah.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Let me provide you an overview of the main activities and deliverables of this 4-year term of Commission 8. Commission 8 is about spatial planning and development. And you can find all the information in the annual report. So this is just the highlights, I would say. And we started off with quite a lot of activities in 2019 with the land governance for equivalent living and working conditions in Qinzhou in China. Then we had the LandNet workshop organized together with FAO about territorial development. It was held in Santiago de Compostela in Spain. So these were still on-site events. And then, of course, COVID-19 kicked in. And then the working week was cancelled in 2020. But together with FAO, we decided to convert 2 of our sessions of this working week into a webinar. So we had a webinar about the legal framework for land consolidation and one about land banking. And both were very well attended with over 1,000 participants, I believe. And you can still find recordings on YouTube. And then you can see the evolution, I would say, converting from on-site to fully online. Then we, as Hartmut mentioned already, we had a meeting last year, Joint Commission 3 and Commission 8 workshop on spatial information management to optimize spatial planning and sustainable development in Prato. This was a hybrid event. Unfortunately, I could not attend myself, but it was very well organized with very good attendance, with a lot of Italian surveyors as well. So I think we had a good outreach there, also to our local and regional counterparts and networks. Next slide, please, Mikael. Apart from the activities, we also delivered, 3 FIG reports and also contributed to other reports. In last year, we delivered a FIG report about good practice for resilience planning to address water governance challenges in Africa. And this year, as mentioned already, we have a land consolidation publication, which has a more practical view on how to implement land consolidation. And we had contributed considerably to the Commission 3 report about geospatial data in the 2020s. And of course, also to our external partners, GLTN and FAO, we contributed from Commission 8 to their reports. And I would like to finalize with thank to all the authors and all the partners who contributed to the publications and activities, because I think it's key of FIG to exchange the knowledge and experiences that we have within the community. And I hope we have done this in our activities and in the reports. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm not sure if we have anything, or if Ben Elder is here with us today. Otherwise, there will be a report from Commission 9.
No, I can't see Ben, and also not Commission 10.
Okay, so for Commission 9, I would just like to encourage, because I don't have any slides here, I just want to encourage you all to look in the technical program. And also, as Maria said, there are reports also on the FIG website on the reports from the commissions, where you can have more interesting details and understanding of the Commission 9 and all the other commissions as well, of course. So hopefully there will be some very interesting and nice technical sessions in Poland, and I hope that you all also have a read in the report. When it comes to Commission 10, also sorry to hear then that Annan is not present. He sent a few slides and the Commission 10 on construction, economics and management. And again, I don't want to go into too much details here, but I also like to, these slides will be shared. The Commission 10 has worked a lot on the international cost management standards, ICMS, and there are some updated additions there that I want to highlight, and I'm sure you will hear more about these in Poland at the technical program at the Congress. So I don't want to go into too many details when it comes to Commission 10 and the report here, but I just wanted to be active, see Alan, and take contact with him if you are interested in more on these details. Let's go over to the networks then. As you know, we have a few but very interesting and active networks. So the first one is on standards networks. David is unfortunately not here. He's on traveling from Western Canada over to Europe, so he will be at the Congress, but he could not make it to this meeting here. So he asked me to say a few words. As you know, the standards networks responsibilities and activities is about liaison with standards bodies and NGOs, and also ensuring the contacts with technical committees that are around, not just ICO, but also other standard organizations. So in principle, the standards network has members from all FIG commissions, even though we know some of the commissions have more, say, higher interest in the standardization work than others. But almost all FIG commissions are part of this network. Key items presently linked to the standards network, as David mentioned, is the ISO TC 172 on the survey instrument standards, but also, of course, on TC 211 on geographic information. Then, and also, as we already heard previously, there are some non-ISO type standards that FIG is deeply involved in. And he mentioned the International Property Measurement Standards Coalition, the International Land Measurement Standards Coalition, International Construction Measurement Standards, and we also know about the OGCs and IHO and so on. He would like you to know that there is a meeting on Tuesday, next Tuesday, where there will be discussions about the Standards Network, where the activities, and also some more deeper discussions about some of the standards mentioned here. And he's looking forward to seeing you all there. So that was from the Standards Network. We have two networks, one for the Asia Pacific and one from Africa. Rob Sarib, again, I'm sorry to say he's not present, so he asked me to say a few words. He has given a short report here on the Asia Pacific Capacity Development Network. There is a report on the FIG website that you can read more about. This network has focused a lot of the activities on actually having face-to-face meetings, and meeting in person has been very vital for them. And as we all know, this has not been the possibility for the last couple of years. However, there's been a lot of participation in online meetings over the last years, and you can see some of them here. Also, this network has been very much involved in the UNGGIM subcommittee on geodesy and its working group on education, training, and capacity building, ETCB, where there is a survey that's been floating around for the last year or so. And you will hear more about that and the results during the technical program in Poland. He's a little bit, perhaps not too positive on the outcomes, but again, a lot of the key performances or the indicator has been built on actually having a number of face-to-face meetings in that region. So he's a little bit not saying that not reaching the goal could be true, but they have been doing a lot of other things in parallel, as good as we can do things during the last couple of years. So that was from the Asian Pacific. If we go to the Africa Regional Network, again, Jennifer, she is out to having some exercises with a class, so she could not be joining us today. She sent me a few notes that I would like to say on her behalf. The Africa Regional Network is a capacity development network that was chaired by Diane Demashi and more recently by then Jennifer Whittle. But there's a change now, so Mr. Mohammed Kansour Kabir will take over as chair at the Congress. So let's have a look at the highlights during her term of office. The African Regional Network has built up a strong working relationship with the Young Surveys Africa Network, especially over the last years in running the pilot mentoring program. There has been some progress in linking up with African member associations that are not yet members of FIG. The network has conducted some surveys to understand the needs for capacity building in Africa. Logos have been developed, and the network now has active social media pages. LinkedIn and Facebook are the main platforms for sharing information, and you're all welcome to join those and see those. The network has worked with the FGF to overcome barriers of language in a face-to-face conference in Dakar. And the most recent success in the pilot mentoring program for young and seasoned surveyors on the African continent, it ran for 12 weeks in 2022. Jennifer invites you, us all, to hear more about the successful pilot program on Tuesday afternoon in the Congress Week, where they will explain the program and share some rich feedback from the participants. There's a huge need for mentorship, so it's their intention to grow the program. She encouraged all potential mentors and mentees, as well as potential corporate sponsors, to come and hear about it. She thanks you all for your faith in her as a chair of this network, and she wishes Mr. Mohammed Mansour Kabir well in taking over in the coming period. So thank you, Jennifer, for that. Last but not least, and hopefully, Huabema. Huabema, how are you?
Yes, I'm right here.
Excellent, thank you. So I think you'll all be delighted to hear someone else than me now. So, Young Surveyors Network.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mikhail. So talking about the Young Surveyors Network for the 2019 to 2022 FIG term, I would start by saying that in 2017, there was a change in the YSN policy to reduce the term from 4 years to 2 years. And so over the 2019 to 2022 FIG term, we had two chairs. That is Melissa Harrington from New Zealand from 2019 to the end of 2020, with me as the vice chair. And then I came in 2021, 2022 as chair with Farah Koksal from Turkey being the vice chair and now being nominated for chair of the network. So this report is going to cover the 4-year term because our work plan, we planned for our work plan to cover be over the 4-year term. So the first thing I'll mention is the partnerships, which necessitated the need to have a 4-year work plan. So we had a partnership with Commission 2 in the learning styles in surveying education, which David Mitchell talked about. And then Working Group 3.6 with Commission 3 also, which is already talked about, and then mapping the plastic, which has already been dealt with. Then we also had a development initiative with the FIG African Regional Network, and this was the mentoring program which Mikhail just talked about from the African Regional Network. And I must add that we were able to do this. This was successful due to the intellectual property of the Surveying and Spatial Sciences Institute, SSI from Australia, which has already a mentoring program that's been running for about 3 or 4 years now. And special thanks goes to Roshni Sharma, who was on hand to help us and guide us through this process. Then when we come to communication, our communication initiative, due to COVID, it was quite important that our social media presence be seen. So we found an increase in our Facebook page likes. We currently have 6,729 followers with 6,285 likes. And then our Facebook group also has over 11,000 members. We also have about almost 3,000 followers on Facebook, with our LinkedIn group being 2,700 members. But then we also created a LinkedIn page, or what they call a company page, which is growing little by little with 564 followers. Then with outreach, we during the 2019 to 2020 term, we the volunteer community surveyor program was rolled out fully. Now, the VCSP was first piloted in 2017 with successful results. And then with the help of Claire Buxton from New Zealand and Roshni Sharma from Australia, who is currently the core team lead of the program, this program was rolled out fully in 3 parts, which I'll mention later. Next slide, please. The next one. Yes, with events, of course, we had planned to have the 5th Young Surveyors Conference in 2020. Now, with YSN, we have our conferences every 2 years, which is supposed to bring young surveyors from all over the world. But then with COVID hitting, we were quickly able to reorient our conference into an online conference with the help of Trembo donating its GoToWebinar platform. And then in 2021, when we were supposed to have a regional meeting, a silver lining to, I would say, every pandemic here, being that we were able to have another Young Surveyors Conference because it was online. And so we had a 6th Young Surveyors Conference also in 2021. But apart from this, the regional networks also had their own meetings within this period, and more especially with the African network, which had 2 regional meetings during this time. Next slide, please. So talking about the VCSP rollout. So I mentioned that the VCSP was rolled out fully in 2019, and here it was rolled out in 3 parts, having the Wisdom Workshop, the e-volunteering path, and then the in-country deployments. Now, the VCSP piloted as in-country deployments, but it was realized that it is not every young surveyor who will be able to move from their country to another country in order to volunteer. And so these other two parts were added to it. And all this VCSP and all our other events were held with a dedicated team of young surveyors who came back during a time of crisis. So moving forward, I'm looking forward to seeing you all at most of you at the 7th Young Surveyors Conference on the 10th and 11th of September, and also a special invitation to you all for our charity event, which will be a charity dance with for us to learn the Polish folk dance. So thank you very much, and I'll see you all then.
Thank you, Corbin, and we're looking forward to the charity dance. So with that, thank you for. It's been a long session, lots of different speakers and so on, and some technical issues. We just like to thank you all for listening to us. There are reports on the website. There will be an extensive program in Poland, and we wish to see you all there. And we hope for some very nice dialogues and discussions to be even stronger and better into the future. Together, we can ensure that FIG is relevant or will continue to be relevant. So thank you. And with that, over to you again, Rudolf.
Thank you very much, Mikhail. I would like to express my sincere thanks to all commission chairs and to all network chairs for the great work, but also for the very disciplined presentation. We hope that it was informative for you and it will encourage the future work. If you have heard several invitations to come to the commission meetings, so I encourage you to follow these invitations, and especially to encourage your younger colleagues who are maybe there for the first FIG event to learn what and how the commission and the networks are doing. So thanks again, all of you, and we are very well on time, and we proceed with our agenda. I hope you can see now agenda item 15.4. And this is for information more, International Office of Cadastre and Land Records, ORCRF. This is already a tongue-breaking acronym, and that's a French meaning. It means Office International du Cadastre et du Régime Foncier. This OICRF is a permanent institution in FIG, and it was led for more than 10 years by Grit Lemon from Dutch Cadastre. Grit Lemon retired some days ago, and he made the proposal that Eva Maria Unger from Dutch Cadastre will continue his work, and Council accepted this offer and decided that Eva Maria Unger will now be the new chair or leader of OICRF. This is, as I said, more for information. We come to agenda item 18. We will talk about future events. Here you see a list of the future events we have decided, and it is decided until 2026. The next Congress, as you know, will be in Cape Town. 2027 and 2028 is not yet decided. I would like to talk to you about 2028, because 2028 is a special year. FIG will celebrate 150 years since it was founded. Already in 2019, the two French associations expressed their interest at the President's meeting to host the Working Week 2028, and they did already extensive work of preparation. On one hand, we as Council want to respect the power and constitutional role of the General Assembly. On the other hand, we are supporting strongly the idea of celebrating our 105th anniversary in Paris with the Working Week 2028. Paris is, in our view, the natural and obvious place to go, because FIG was founded 150 years ago exactly there. With this background, FIG Council is asking General Assembly that you give us the power that we can give this event to our French colleagues so that they do not have to run through the bidding process. In order that you can have an impression how far these preparations has already begun, I'm kindly asking now Florian Lebordet from our French colleagues to give a presentation on the current situation, where we are and how the situation is. So Louisa, can you please...
First of all, I would like to play a small video for you, and then Florian is waiting to talk. He should be online. Florian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Good,
Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Rodolphe.
I will start the video first.
Dear Mr. President, Madam and Mrs. Vice President, dear delegates, dear friends, I'm Joseph Pasquale, President of the French Order of Surveyors, ORGE. Our partnership and international exchange have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic over the past 2 years, so driven by a real determination to regain the pleasure of friendship and sharing. We look forward to the next Congress in Warsaw. It's a great honor for me to announce to you today, on behalf of the French Surveyor, as well as our sister organization, the Francophone Association of Topography, AFT, the application of France to host the FIG Working Week in Paris in 2028, which will celebrate the 150th anniversary of our federation. And we invite you to project yourself even further ahead in 2028 to celebrate together the 150th anniversary of the FIG on the very place of its creation in Paris, and find in it the spirit of the founding fathers of our federation. This is the proposal that is revealed to you in the presentation that follows. France, through ORGE and AFT, will be honored to welcome you for this celebration. To do so, we rely on your support for this project, as well as your confidence in our ability to organize such an event. We are ready to take up this challenge, and in fact, we are already preparing for it. Above all, I wish you all an excellent General Assembly and a great Congress in Warsaw, where our OGE and AFT delegation will be very happy to meet you.
So, hello everyone, again. My name is Florian Lebordet. I am in charge of international affairs at OGE, and it's really a great honor for me today to present you our application to host in Paris in 2028 the FIG Working Week. So as you can see, we have already imagined the first visual to concretize this outstanding event. For symbolic purposes, apart from opening onto the Eiffel Tower, the view is from the Place du Trocadéro, where the FIG was created 150 years ago. Can you move to the next slide, please? Thank you. So I am going to start this presentation with a very simple question, the same one that some of you may be asking yourselves right now. So why a French application for FIG 2028 Working Week? In fact, the answer is just as simple, probably because we all already spoiled it a bit. In 2028, FIG will celebrate its 150th anniversary of its creation in Paris, on the sideline of the 1878 International Universal Exhibition. So you can see now some pictures of this past event. Next slide, please. So beyond this reminder, what would be the expectations and benefits for FIG? Firstly, a very strong unifying event to celebrate its anniversary at the place of its creation 150 years ago. Secondly, the assurance of a high level of participation in person, because as you can imagine, this exceptional event can only be experienced physically in Paris and not behind a computer screen, as it is for now. And thirdly, a working week edition supported by a strong profession in France, which benefits from a very solid recognition from its government. So next slide, please. And last but not least, the expected impact of this media exposure will be amplified, of course, by the celebration of FIG anniversary. So, and if these shared expectations are strong and ambitious, we do hope and are convinced that our Paris application has serious assets. The first one is, as I already mentioned it, the capacity of OGE and AFT, or both French organizations, to support and organize a large-scale international event. Obviously, the second one is the very strong symbol of the 150th anniversary of FIG creation in Paris. And another asset, and not the least, is the touristic attraction capacity of France, and in particular its capital city, Paris. Indeed, Paris remains the most popular capital city for business tourism, and we should underline that the two Parisian airports serve more than 470 cities all over the world. And as our presentation is intended to be fully sincere, there is no question, of course, to sidestepping the possible constraints for organizing such a major international event in Paris. Next slide, please. So then we have already identified a few logistical constraints that call for mitigation measures to make this event a great success. So the first constraint we have identified is the expensive Parisian hotel offer. Some of you may have already experienced it, so we will pay attention to offering a very diverse range of hotels to suit all budgets. The second point is related to the high average of tourist budget for food, leisure, and cultural visits. Then we will do our best to negotiate and offer turnkey packages and stays with logistic providers and tour operators. And the last point is very crucial, as it was underlined by Rudolf at the very beginning of the General Assembly today. So it's the degree of ease in obtaining an entry visa to France, and more largely via the Schengen area. Then we will accompany registered participants in their visa application process and will provide assistance to travelers, of course, before and during the event. So in short, nothing that we can't handle properly. So to conclude this presentation, the French surveyor will be so honored to welcome you all in Paris in 2028 to celebrate FIG 150th anniversary. So thank you all for your support. Thank you. Thank you, Louise.
Thank you very much, Florian. Thank you very much. So dear colleagues and friends, you have seen the presentation, and you also have seen that the preparations on the French side are already quite advanced. And so, as I said already, we would like to have your yes, so that FIG Council can decide that the FIG Working Week will be 2028 in Paris, France. Let's go to agenda item 19, appointment of commission chairs for the term 2023 to 2026. You have seen all the names in the invitation. Commission 1, Timothy Birch. Commission 2, Dimo Todorovsky. Commission 3, Sergio Dalliot. Commission 4, Malagavi Doneranda Kanahana Gunatilaka. Commission 5, Ryan Keenan. Commission 6, Werner Lienhardt. Commission 7, Rowan Bennett. Commission 8, Kwabena Asiama. Commission 9, Peter Ache. And last but not least, Commission 10, Anil Soni. So we again are asking a yes from you to the nomination of these commission chairs. And now we come to agenda item 20, which is the before last one, report of the engagement committee. You remember last year we installed an engagement committee for a trial period, and the main idea of this committee is that the people of the committee are encouraging in privacy and silently a number of potential candidates for various positions in FIG. And this engagement committee started the work after the General Assembly 2021, and they looked for candidates for vice president and for president. They sent a report, but we also asked the engagement committee to give a short presentation. Unfortunately, Rob Sereb is not available, so Volker Schwieger, who is also part of this committee, he will do this. So I have to stop the presentation here. No. So,
Volker, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good.
For me, it's okay, but I didn't see the presentation up to now.
it will come, Volker.
Okay, then
Yeah,
I will come.
I will
assembly.
share my screen.
I think it's loading now.
Yes.
And
Looks like-
then we will put it in. Here we are.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm also welcoming the General Assembly. I wish you a good morning, day, evening, night. Choose your daytime. And yeah, maybe you ask yourself, what is the engagement committee? Not all have attended maybe the last General Assembly. You see, there are different members, and these members have or had posts in the FIG. And so they know about how the FIG works, and especially how maybe the work is of a president or a vice president. And you see, we are relatively widespread around the world, and we try to cover gender issues with the number of persons or the people that are involved here. The presentation was put together by Rob Sereb, who couldn't make it here today, so I take over the task to present for him. So Louise, please, the next slide.
Yes.
Okay, you see that our main task is really to identify prospective candidates for president and vice president. And the main idea behind was that we have an independent body where people can ask without contacting directly the council. So nobody knows that somebody is interested or want to have some information. Also, not considerably with contact with the national member associations. They could be a contact, but they don't have to be. In the engagement committee, we made 5 meetings and discussed prospective candidates, also that we can contact them directly. And we agreed on that, they should have some experience in FIG surrounding, so that they should have any contact with FIG, so they should know a little bit how much it works. And we recognize what I already mentioned, the last part of this slide, the last topic, that we should also look a little bit for diversity, gender balance, and also, let's say, continent balance. Okay, next slide, please. I have to say that nobody contacted us directly. So nobody was there that say, oh, please, dear members of the engagement committee, what should I do to become a president or vice president? There was nobody contacting us. So we decided to contact other people. And we made a brainstorming together in digital meetings. And we have identified 18 people that may be of interest, posts from our point of view. 5 persons that could, in our point of view, be FIG president, and 13 persons that could run for FIG vice president. We had begun a little bit before Christmas 2021 and finalized the process January, February 2022. We had at the basic information also some papers that Louis put together about the work of vice presidents and presidents, so that they have some basic information. And then we make web-based conversations to get information, to get them informed that they would be possible candidates and what would be the topics. We also give these prepared guidelines to the persons, and so to give them the opportunity how they would engage and how the whole procedure would go on. Next slide, please. Yeah. At the application deadline, at the end, we had 3 nominations for FIG president. You know this already, and 5 for the vice president positions. We will not say who were addressed by us and who addressed us or whatever, because this should be really what is running under this engagement committee is more or less a secret, and it should be kept like this. So because everybody who contact us should be aware that we will not talk with the outside world about this. Yeah, we had also prepared a report for the council that is a little bit more detailed. There's also standing something like this: how many have, how many we have contacted and really applied, and so on and so on. But we will not put it here. We also think at the end, also because of the reactions of the people that we contact, some of them were surprised, they were honored, and they really applied. We really think that is good also for the future to have this committee, maybe in a different people that act there, but it had made a big sense to do so. This is everything I want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Volker. Thank you for your dedication, for your work. I think so far as I can judge it, this engagement committee is a good thing, but we will continue in the trial period, and the next council will then decide how it will be treated in the future. Now we have dealt with all the official agenda items. The last agenda item on my list, and we are very well on time, is I would like to explain to the official delegates how to do the voting. Therefore, I would like to share again my screen. So, before I start my explanations on the voting, I would like to encourage all participants now to use the chat and to give us a short feedback how this General Assembly first session was. Was it informative? Was it boring? Was it too long? Was it too short? Your personal impression, this will help us to estimate how this session was. So let's talk about voting. There will be, over the next more than 12 days, 3 voting processes. The first one is the general items, which we are dealing now. And then next week, the election for the 2 posts of vice president and the election for the post of president. This voting on the general items will take place over 3 days, and it will start immediately now. In the program, in the invitation, we have written 4 o'clock this afternoon, but we decided to change it, and so you can do the voting now. And all the items you can see here, and I will show you, and all the official delegates, all you official delegates should have received a link or will receive a link very soon for the voting.
Rudolf, it is sent in 2 minutes. It's now 58 to...
Okay, so it will be sent in 2 minutes, and when you click on this link, you will see something like this. This ballot ends on Wednesday and so on. General agenda item, and now your role is to say, yes, I agree, or no, I do not agree. And this goes through all the agenda items I have displayed and I have showed and explained to you. You can also disagree or agree with the report of the president, for example. Here, for the appointment of honorary members, you should do individual ticking. We hope that you do support both nominations, those that you do a tick for Volker and for Stephen. The same for the finances. And it is important to note that at the end, then you see a button, continue or cancel. If you go to continue, then you see a summary of what you have voted. And now you can go back and change your votes. If you press on change, then you go back to the former page. Or if you press confirm, then your voting is done and is sent to the system. And then afterwards, you can't change this. So this is in principle how the voting will work. So I will stop now this presentation and get back to the normal screen. And now here I think, and maybe Louise, you bring all the council members to the screen.
They can open their video themselves.
They can open themselves their video.
Or I can help.
So I'm amazed about the timing. We are 1 minute over the official timing. And again, please use the chat and tell us what was good and tell us also what and how we can improve things. I would like to thank all my council members for their contribution, the attendance, and the support. I would like to thank you, all participants, and I would like to thank especially the official delegates for making this first session of our General Assembly happen. I wish you all good days, and I wish you especially safe travels to Poland. And I hope to see you here. I hope to see you all there next Saturday, next Sunday, and I wish us all a successful, fruitful, informative Congress in Warsaw, Poland. Thank you very much.
Thank you from here. Goodbye.